Marvel Illustrated Guide to the Spider-Verse. Ever since Spider-Man met his first wall-crawling counterpart from an alternate reality, the boundaries of his friendly neighborhood have been expanding at an alarming rate. Keeping track of the infinite number of interdimensional spider heroes is a daunting task, but fortunately a certain web-slinging wonderkind from Reality 65 is up to the challenge. Drawing on her vast experience, teaming up with web warriors from across the Marvel multiverse, Gwen Stacy, aka Ghost Spider, delves into the storied history of the Spider-Verse. In this definitive survey of its most intriguing inhabitants, from Peter Parker to Miles Morales, from Spider-Woman to Madame Web, from Spider-Ham to the Spider-Mobile, all of your favorite webheads are here, as well as dozens more just waiting to be discovered. Written by Mark Sumerak and featuring more than 70 original illustrations from artists Giuseppe Camilleri, Yancy Labat, and Marco De Forno. This colorful and informative guidebook is a must-have for every true arachnophile. Introduction. What is a family? That's the question my street professor at Empire State University wants us to answer for our first assignment in this semester's genealogy unit. And on the surface, it seems like a pretty simple question. I mean, no matter who we are or where we come from, whether we're normal kids or web-slinging wonders, family is one of the things we all have in common, right? But that doesn't mean all families are the same. Not even close. Family comes in all kinds of forms. Some big, some small, some traditional, some unconventional. Some close, some estranged, some present, some long gone. Until recently, my family was just me and my dad, Gwen Stacy and Captain George Stacy of the NYPD. After Mom died, Dad did his best he could, trying to raise an overly rebellious teenage daughter while protecting the city from an endless supply of criminals and crazies. He may not always have thought I was paying attention to what he was trying to teach me, but the example he set made him more than just my father. It made him my hero, and it made me want to be just like him. Turns out I'd get my chance sooner than I expected. One little bite from a radioactive spider and boom, I'm a real-life superhero. No, I'm serious. I went from laying down sick beats with my band, the Mary Janes, to beating down supervillains as a spectacular Spider-Woman. Obviously, I tried to live up to what my dad taught me, and do the right thing. You know, use my powers responsibly, to help people and stuff. But then one of my close friends died, and I got the blame. Actually, my wall-crawling alter ego did. No one knew it was me yet. I went from being NYC's hottest new hero to public enemy number one overnight. For Pete's sake, my own father was trying to hunt me down and bring me to justice. I'd never felt so alone in my whole life, but when things looked their darkest, for your friendly neighborhood spider, Gwen, that's when I learned an important lesson. Family isn't just the people we're bound to by blood. It can also be the people we're bound to by purpose, and therefore I knew it. My family suddenly became a whole lot bitter than I could have possibly imagined. Stay with me. This is where things get weird. Well, weirder. Believe it or not, the world we live in is just one of an infinite number of realities. A simple change to a single moment is all it takes for a separate timeline to diverge and spin off an entirely new different direction. Results may vary, of course, which means some alternate Earths seem strangely familiar, while others are barely recognizable. But no matter how much things diverge, the universes are still tied together by common threads, kind of like a giant web of what could be, and who better to protect a web than a spider? Luckily for the multiverse, there are plenty of us to go around. Like I said, each reality, no matter how different, shares some constants. One of those is presence of a spiderific hero like me. Apparently I'm just one of many spider totems. Superpowered beings with an unusually strong connection to the so-called web of life and destiny. No matter which dimension you call home, you're bound to find one of us swinging around somewhere. Most of us share the same basic powers: enhanced strength, durability and agility, and the ability to hear at most surfaces, and a sort of sixth sense that gives us a heads up when danger is coming. The standard spider stuff. But while our superhuman skill set may be similar, we've all got our own unique personalities and stories that set us apart. Take away our masks, and it's clear that no two spider heroes are exactly alike, unless they're clones. Maybe, but even then. Normally, we tend to stick to our home multiversal neighborhoods, protecting our own worlds in our own ways. But there have been times when we had to cross boundaries between dimensions and form our own little spider armies in order to save everything that is. Yeah. Whenever we've come together, it's been clear to me the deep bonds we spider types share make us so much more than just another team of superheroes. We laugh, we cry, we fight, we make up, and we drive each other totally nuts. But we're always there for each other, when it counts the most. No matter what. Well, most of us at least. If that isn't a family, I don't know what is. Since I first donned the webs, I've been back and forth between realities. More times than I can count. And I've had the honor of getting to know many of my brothers and sisters in arms along the way. But while we may have shared an instant connection, there's still a lot to learn about each of my cross-dimensional counterparts. Plus, there are tons of Spideys out there that I haven't even had the chance to team up with yet. So in the spirit of my history assignment, I'm going to take a closer look at my amazing new family in an effort to better understand who they all are, and hopefully how I fit in. Will I be able to turn this in for a grade? No way. Not without completely giving away my secret identity and having to transfer to another school or another universe. But that doesn't make the work I'm doing here any less valuable. Because when my family has a reunion, it usually means that the end of the world is closing in on us. And that's exactly when I need to know who is watching my back and fighting by my side. So grab some snacks and crank up the tunes, kids. Because this is one study session where I can't guarantee you won't want to skip. That I can. Okay. We're about to dive face first into the Spider-Verse. Gwen. P.S. If you're reading this, it means that I trust you to keep all of these details on the down low. Why? First off, the concept of the multiverse alone is enough to make most normal people's heads explode. But even more importantly, there's a lot of top secret info about my amazing Spidey friends in here that could cause them some huge headaches if it got into the wrong hands. Do you want to be the reason a gang of interdimensional goblins starts hunting them down? Didn't think so. So keep a lid on it, yeah? P.P.S. Naturally, almost every spider hero believes that they're the real deal, and their chosen superhero names usually reflect that fact. But if I just call everyone Spider-Man here, things are going to get confusing real fast. So in a few cases, I've added little nicknames that I use to help me tell them all apart. Do me a favor, though, and try not to call them by those names if you meet them in person, especially Spider-Punk. These are for easy identification purposes only, okay? Got it? We got a bunch of pictures of different spider masks down here. Here's a picture of Gwen. Well, at least I believe a spider pool. Yeah, I don't really remember all the different variations. I'm just trying to remember the correct name. But since, she was the one just entered talking, Spider-Woman. So she is... I'm not gonna lie, I'm staring at the curves. I mean, some nice thigh. I mean, even just the design is nice. But I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not admiring a very attractive physique. Just... everyone's just silently listening and we can't see the picture, Lunar. Just saying, very attractive. Okay. Spider-Man, Reality 616. Okay, this looks like the Spider-Man we're all used to. And now I'm just staring at his crotch because the way it's drawn. Just saying, everything's drawn well. You can't really talk about the Spider Heroes without talking about my pal Peter Parker, the sensational Spider-Man. That's because in like 90% of realities, Pete was the one chosen to wear the webs. And of all the Peter Parkers on alternate Earths, none of them has swung to the same epic heights as the Pete who hails from the interdimension that I now call home, Reality 616. To be fair, his story is a pretty familiar one, bitten by an irradiated spider during a science experiment gone wrong. The teenage Pete gained a bunch of uncanny abilities. His natural speed, strength, and agility were boosted way beyond the normal levels of a human being. He can cling to walls, and he can sense imminent danger. So on that front, he and I really aren't all that different. But one gift that Pete possessed, even before he became an arachnid avatar, was his genius-level intellect. He used his scientific know-how to design his signature web shooters, as well as his synthetic polymer webbing, though there are that they project. He uses that stuff to swing through the city, bind his enemies, and weave a slew of useful tools for heroing. And he was still in high school when he came up with the formula. I know, crazy, right? Though in some versions, he just has the ability to just shoot webbing. I know it's not just Pete's powers or smarts that define him as a hero, though he's also got a noble spirit, an unwavering moral compass, and a deeply ingrained sense of responsibility, all of which have helped him beat the odds over and over and over again. He knows from first-hand experience that if the kind of power we have isn't used wisely, the consequences can be totally disastrous, and to him, that's simply not an option. That's why as Spider-Man, Pete continues to step up and face off against even the most impossible challenges, always putting the safety of innocent people before his own personal well-being. He may have started his crime-fighting career on a relatively small scale, keeping the streets of his neighborhood safe, but since then the Spidey has gone on to save the world, and even the multiverse itself, on more occasions than he'd ever willingly admit. Believe me, I've met my fair share of Spideys from across dimensions, but there's no doubt in my mind as to why this particular Spider-Man has earned his spot at the center of the web. Awkward side note, even though Reality 616's Peter Parker has become like a mentor to me, it's hard to ignore the fact that he used to be romantically involved with this world's version of Gwen Stacy. Add to the guilt that he feels over Gwen's untimely death, and well, you can probably see how things get a teeny bit weird between us at times. We've worked through most of our baggage, but I still find that our best team-ups are ones where we steer clear of the past and stick to punching and kicking. Ghost Spider, Reality 65. Though this looks like the... So this is Gwen Stacy. I said, I don't really remember the Spider lore. Be honest, I'm just staring right at her vagina. Now at her tits. Now I'm looking at the really cool mask. Look, this whole thing really isn't supposed to be about me. There are so many other spider heroes out here with cooler stories than mine to explore. Still, in case you're interested, I guess I could share a few more fun facts about myself. The stunningly spectacular Ghost Spider. Okay, I've got a picture of her with the mask off. That's nice. I live in Reality 616 these days, but I'm originally from Reality 65. On my Earth, I was the one who got the big bite and the cool powers that came along with it. I became Spider-Woman. While the Peter Parker from my world, he wasn't quite so lucky. Remember when I said that everyone on my Earth blamed me for someone's death? Yeah, that was Pete. He'd always been bullied, and he thought superpowers like mine might be the ticket to breaking that cycle. So he decided to experiment on himself. It didn't go well. He transformed into this lizard-like monster and attacked our school, forcing me to fight back. I didn't know it was him until it was too late. Anyway, what else? Oh, I eventually lost my spider powers, but managed to regain almost identical abilities by bonding with an alien symbiote. It's honestly not as creepy as it sounds. Like most Spideys, I wear web shooters, but mine were invented by my world's version of Janet Van Dyne, who you probably know as the Wasp. I also got hooked up with a cool interdimensional transport device. It may look like a high-tech wristwatch, but it allows me to cross into other realities in the blink of an eye. A bunch of us web warriors had them for a while, but mine's one of the few that still works. Okay, back to the heavy stuff for a sec. After Pete died, I went on the run for a while, gaining bona fide vigilante status while still trying my best to earn some redemption. I eventually came to terms with the fact that I was doing more harm than good, so I surrendered and spent a year in prison to atone for my reckless behavior. It wasn't the best experience, but it earned me back a lot of respect I had lost, especially from my dad. Even though I made up for my mistakes, things back in Reality 65 got complicated, so I decided to come here, to an Earth where my identity is still a secret, and my life isn't a hot mess. Now I get to start fresh, new dimension, new codename, and a new chapter in my heroic career, and I think that pretty much covers it. Now let's shift focus to someone who's really out of this world. Spider-Man, Reality 13. Cosmic Spider. Out in the cosmos, there's insanely powerful concentrations of sentient celestial energy that embodies life, light, and creation. We call it the Enigma Force. Sometimes a portion of this ancient entity known as the Unipower forms bonds with organic beings, granting them access to nearly unlimited cosmic awesomeness. The Enigma Force is said to be pretty selective of its hosts, choosing only the most virtuous people to wield its godlike might and become Captain Universe. So it's no big surprise that Peter Parker's from a bunch of realities have been chosen as his champions. Most spider heroes have voluntarily relinquished its unimaginable powers, which include cosmically and heightened senses, flight, and matter manipulation. Once, whatever crisis they were facing had been averted, but Peter Parker Reality 13 held on to the Unipower, boosting his already impressive abilities in the war against the Eternal Darkness until he died saving his fellow spiders from certain doom. The Enigma Force may have made him one with his universe, but I hope he had the chance to see how much better he made all of ours. Reality 138. Spider-Punk. Most spider heroes fight to uphold the law, but Spider-Man from Reality 138, not so much. See, my friend Hobby Brown came down from a world where an authoritarian regime was crushing its lowest classes and pretending it was patriotism. When Hobby got bitten by a spider that was radiated due to illegal toxic dumping, he used newfound abilities to fight the powers that be. Passionate and free-spirited, Hobby relied on his sharp tongue and loud guitar to amplify his crusade in inequality. But in the face of fascists, he's more than happy to let his fists do the talking. Brown formed his own personal spider army of freedom fighters to topple the status quo of his world. After that, he joined an entirely different kind of spider army, one composed of his fellow spider heroes from multiple realities to save the multiverse. I'm always glad to jam with this dude any chance we get, because when we're together, one thing's for sure, the hits won't stop coming. Man Spider, Reality 666. Want to hear something really gross? A handful of Reality Spider-Man's arachnid-like characteristics were magnified to the point where he became, well, more spider than man. With additional limbs, multiple eyes, and deadly venomous fingers. His physical appearance became the stuff of nightmares. Seriously, it's not great to look at. Fortunately, in most instances, these beastly transformations have only been temporary, brought out by exposure to strange technology, mutagenetic substances, or some other form of bad mojo. However, some dimensions like Reality 666, where Earth was dominated by supernatural forces, the resident Spider-Man ended up retaining these hideous features permanently. Call me an anomalous, but even when a Spidey's more savage side comes to the surface, I like to believe that he still has the heart of a hero, somewhere within the grotesquely mutated thorax. Reality 14512. SP //DR. Of all the various spider heroes I've had the pleasure teaming up with over the years, few have had the same level of cool as Penny Parker. No offense, boys, but you know it's true. Penny inherited a high-tech, mechanized suit of armor known as the SP //DR after the death of her father, the suit's original pilot. So it's like Iron Man? Okay, neat. I don't know anyone else that wears a robot suit, okay? In order to operate, Penny had to allow herself to be bitten by a sentient, radioactive spider that lives inside the suit's CPU. The bite forged a psychic connection between... Oh, she's literally just standing there holding the spider. Okay. Between Penny and the armor, giving her full access to its massive assortment of functions using the SCP enhanced strength, durability, web-based weaponry. Penny devoted herself to her father's mission of keeping the Earth and Reality 14512 safe from a variety of threats. But even though she suffered a number of personal tragedies since she first suited up, Penny hasn't hesitated when called into action alongside her fellow spider heroes. I couldn't be happier knowing that she and SCP are on my team. Spider-Woman. You all know why I'm being quiet. Reality 616, and I'm going to try to not be lewd. When I started my crime-fighting career back in Reality 65, I originally used the name Spider-Woman, but when I decided to relocate here to Reality 616, I knew that name had already taken. I suppose I could have fought for the title, but I already had way too much respect for the woman who held it. Honestly, I can't think of anyone more deserving to be this dimensional universal Spider-Woman than my girl Jessica Drew. Unlike most of us who gained our powers from spider bites, Jess was subjected to unorthodox experiments from an early age. Her own father injected her with serum derived from the blood of spiders in hopes that its regenerative properties might cure Jess of an illness she had contracted. The poor kid was sealed inside of a healing chamber for years until the serum took full effect. When she finally emerged, she was fully grown and had an unexpected array of sweet new abilities. Spider-Woman's powers span a much wider range than that of the average spider hero. Jess can release powerful bioelectric blasts from her hands that can stun her foes. So she's Goku. She's also been able to generate pheromones that allow her to influence the emotions of those around her. She even has a healing factor that makes her immune to toxins and slows her aging process. When added to the more standard spider-based abilities she has, like wall crawling and enhanced strength, speed, reflexes, it's pretty clear why this Spider-Woman stands apart from her fellow web warriors. Over the years, Jess has punched in the boundaries of what it means to be a superhero. She's walked so many paths, proving herself as an agent of both shield and sword, as well as being a bounty hunter, a private detective, and a devoted mother. And since it looks like her adorable little son, Jerry, has inherited many of his mom's sensational gifts, I think it's fair to say that Spider-Woman's adventures have only just begun. Spider UK, Reality 833. Long before we ever gathered our own spider army to save the multiverse, there were plenty of other groups already taking point when it came to ensuring the safety of all the realities. One of them is the Core, an assemblage of omniversal protectors with representatives in virtually every known universe. Most Corps members are variations of Captain Britain, but one of them, Billy Braddock of Reality 833, also happened to be his world's version of Spider-Man. Pretty cool, right? Gifted with a talisman that gave him the ability to travel between dimensions, Billy was the key to bring all of us Spideys together for the very first time, in order to fight a ruthless family of totem-hunting hunters known as the Inheritors. When the fight was finished, the Spider Heroes got the win. Poor Billy lost more than he ever could have anticipated. His own reality, which he had sworn to protect, had fallen victim to another catastrophe in his absence. Since he managed to find new purpose, devoting himself helping his fellow spider heroes from across the web of life, the destiny until he eventually fell in battle fighting at our side. There may be millions of Spideys out there in the multiverse, but we never find another one quite like him. So that's page 24, so we would resume this at page 25 out of 111 if we do any more. Like I said, I might resume this, I might not. I'll read through the rest of the characters real quick. There's Spider Kid, Doppelganger, Ben Reilly. It's a lot of different outfits. Must have been a very long-running comic series. Now he's in front of a mirror and he's got like a purple ghost spider suit thing. Huh. I guess it's like an anti-villain series for him. The Scarlet Spiders. I think I have a vague memory of that stuff. That was kind of cool. Spider-Woman. It's like she's doing yoga on a wall upside down. Okay. Continuing. Lady Spire. Oh yeah, the person who wrote the book. Then we have Ezekiel Sims. And Old Man Spider. What? Then we have Spider-Man Reality 1610. Oh, that's a pretty cool outfit. It's a mix of black and red. Oh, Miles Morales! I could have sworn that outfit still had some blue in there, though. Maybe that's like a Mandela effect thing. Still, that looks like a pretty awesome outfit. Black Widow. You know, you could probably put a watermelon between those thighs and... Continuing. Spider Side. He looks angry. Did I skip a page? No. The Spider. Well, this is like medieval version. Oh no, the next one that's Renaissance. This one over here, Prince of Arachne, and it's a dude in like suit of armor. Neat. Although for some reason that reminds me, like in Dragon Quest VIII, after you beat the game, there's a side quest afterward to go to the land of the dragons, and every time you beat the dragon lord, you get another piece of dragon armor. Like, it's very hard to get the full set, but it looks so cool. It's like a samurai outfit, but it's red and it made dragon scales. Though I do know they made like a remake of that for the 3DS that allowed you to have a romantic path where you could go in few extra dungeons that were very hard, and you could also like wind up marrying Jessica. She is a very sexy redhead with a pretty face. Yeah, nice curves all around. You know, thigh, ass, all of it, nice tummy. But I'm just saying, tits, just really... Just saying, it's a very attractive video game character. Web Slinger and Widow. Did you put a spider outfit face on a horse? Does that even work? I mean, can the horse see it through that? I mean, I know there's sometimes at ranches they'll put things on horses to blind them completely so they don't freak out about the cars. But I don't know if masks necessarily work. Wouldn't that like completely, screw up their peripheral and vision and depth perception? How do animals react to having masks? Spider-Girl, with an outfit that reminds me of Venom. So, is that a Venom thing, or just, I don't know, Savage Spider-Man? Neat. Spider-Man, Reality 92, 100, the Six-Armed Spider-Man. Peter and Ben Parker. Okay, so one where he didn't die. But, okay. Superior Spider. Oh, that's the one where Doc Ock. Yeah, you have a picture of Doc Ock's shadow on the wall behind him. Was an interesting side story. People are like, that's more than a side story. I'm like, well, if it is, let me know what you think about it. That's cool. I want to hear you talk about it. It was a pretty cool full-page spread of him. Got like the little mechanical arms out there. Hey, it looks pretty cool. The Spider. Okay. Arachnosaur. Spider-Mobile. Why do I want to be able to drive that in GTA? Spider-Man. Okay. Madame Web. Though she definitely looks much younger in this version of it. Though I just remember from the old Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s. Still. That's really cool. I know she has a ton of psychic powers. Then we have Spider-Man India. And we have Kwaku and I have no idea how to pronounce things. It's like, yeah, I don't even know. Spider-Ben and Petey. Okay. Spider-Man 2099. Oh, right, they made a brief cartoon. Is that the Punisher skull on there? Or? I'm not sure. Kind of confused. And a more cyber-looking version of it. I mean, it was supposed to be a cyberpunk Ghost Spider. Like, so did like. Why am I struggling to remember that guy's name? Like, I watched that movie. You know, The Weight of Unbearable Talent. Why can't I remember his name? It was the guy, like, the movie even had his name in the title. I remember it being an awesome movie. But it was guy's name, The Weight of Unbearable Massive Talent. I think it was Nicolas Cage. I'm not sure. We have Zombie Spider-Man. We have Cyborg Spider-Man. We have Spiders Man. Just man made out of millions of tiny spiders. It's like a cyanide and happiness sketch. Silk. Yes, she is pretty. Moving on. Reality 616. So the same as. Then we have Spider-Man J, which is a silly Japanese version. And you guys would get what I mean if you saw this. Just it's like drawn kind of like a chibi, and the eyes are way too big, even for an anime style. Then we have the Mangaverse Spider-Man. Neat. Oh, you guys ever watch the old Spider-Man TV comic or TV episodes that were in Japan? That, like, some of the stuff is just like. That's actually where that one meme was, like the Spider-Man's pointing at other Spider-Mans. But they do some like weird hijinks. It's kind of like the old Adam West Batman sort of style, except more Japanese. So just like imagine, you know, Adam West Batman plus Bayonetta. Then we have the Spider-Man, which looks like he's like got Iron Man's suit of armor. We got the Arachnonite, which I guess Spider-Man became Batman, I guess. I'm not sure. We have the Scarlet Spider, which technically we already saw a Scarlet Spider, but he seems to be having some transformative issues. Spider-Man of Reality 44145. Really don't know anything about this dude. He's 6 arms. Then we have Spider-Man Reality 7023-7, which I guess I really don't know. It's just old. Spider Monkey, Spider Cat, Spider Girl. Yes, we all know I am staring. Like, here's the thing: I like nicely drawn characters. I mean, if you can draw anything, then just have whatever aesthetic choice you want. Yes, Wonder Woman's boobs are going to be so big that her back would break in reality, but she has super strength. Also, yeah, I like art and I like expression, but also I like beautiful women. I like pictures of attractive people. Hell, it's never once hurt my feelings. It's like I'll look at pictures of Goku, which has like abs so fucking defined you could shred meat on them. That has never hurt my feelings. People being mean to me and actually, treating me like shit, that hurts my feelings. But it's like, yeah, I'm not, a Baki the Grappler character. Granted, if I could look like that, yeah. And I'll say this. If I had tits, I would want them to be, big. Then again, I wouldn't mind if my dick was bigger. So. Or my stomach was smaller, or my arms and biceps and stuff were bigger. Or maybe my cardio was a little bit better. Or if I was just more attractive. That's the thing. At no point has a picture ever hurt my feelings. It's actual real world interactions. And even then, it's like, okay, whatever. Because if a person really is going to be, so impolite and crass about stuff, then, well, why should I even care? But, just saying, I would prefer if I was more attractive, but yeah, at no point has a picture hurt my feelings. I can look at Goku being fucking shredded and I'm like, that's awesome. That's a goal I know I'll never achieve, but I can work toward it. So I can try lifting these weights and I'll at least make some improvement. But I know I'll never be that. It's like yeah, I'm never going to be able to punch through fucking concrete and shit. But it's called reasonable expectations. But I still think it's awesome. Like you have like fucking Baki the Grappler characters drawn like they have fucking muscles on their jawbone. Like that's not even heck. They're like the muscle striations that you have on people's ribs. Here's another thing: is a lot of times the amount of muscle, like when people go into the shoots, they actually purposely dehydrate themselves and stuff. Like usually bodybuilders, if they keep themselves like 3%. Like, granted, I am way too fat. I need to lose fat because it's not healthy for me. But I'm working on it. But like obviously too little would be, there's people that have been bodybuilders that had 3% body fat. They die and they open them up and their liver's like dust. So the most important thing should be, caring about your physical health, that, live a long life, feel healthy, to be able to not be in pain or get injured. And, so main thing is this. You shouldn't be basing your, view of reality off of a comic book character or a video game character or anime character. That's not how humans look. And even then, the humans that are that jacked, one, they're not as jacked as they are as in the comics. Because the comic, all you gotta do is just move a line to a different spot. The person's, 10 times stronger. In reality, that takes, one, there's limits of, time, nutrition, genetics, but also that stuff takes hard work. Even if you're gifted, you still gotta work hard for that shit. It's like takes a lot of discipline and training. I'm just saying, I like attractive people in stories and video games. Okay, yes, I want, Mikon and... Let's see, what are the other characters? Sakura, Poison. I'm trying to think of any other characters that really come to mind. But I'm just saying, I like attractive... Oh, my back hurts! I like attractive pictures. Yeah, dislike that I'm not attractive, but that's not the picture's fault. And it doesn't make me want to not have attractive pictures out there, because I like... Because I just keep staring at Spider-Girl's ass. I'm just saying I appreciate hentai, or just well-drawn characters. Yes, that's not reality, but people don't, watch movies for reality. They watch it for entertainment. And, yeah, there's an expression of, art and, oh, look at this cool thing I drew. Or, you'd be like the guy who does the Michael Myers, Michael Fox. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. This guy who does the robot movies. I am drawing a blank there. But he does big explosions. Venom. But a version of Venom I have not seen before. The May Parker. Huh. And then over here we have Peter Parker as, I think it's, Ben's Parker. Then Spider's a man, a different one. The 1000, well, that just looks... That... Oh, God. So, Peter became Spider-Man. His bully felt it should have been him. The spider that bit him had already died when he found it, so he decided to eat the radioactive spider, the corpse. So his insides became a colony of sentient spiders, of millions of spiders using his skin as a husk. And he goes around eating other people. Okay. Spider-Man Noir. It's like the 1940s, detective movie guy. Spider-Man, Spinneret, and Spiderling. Okay. I'm going to avoid going off of tangents talking about things. Spider Assassin. Spider Bite. So I assume that's a techno version. Spider Ham. Is that Donald Duck? That's Ghost Rider. The Tech On Spider-Man. The Megamorphs Spider-Man. It's okay. Spider-Man Reality. Oh, that's the one where you're going to... I remember that, reading that comic, the one where he became part of the Fantastic Four. Then we have the other. Then conclusion. List of what comics everyone shows up in. Still say 3.5 edition of Dungeons & Dragons is best. So, we stayed focused briefly on reading an encyclopedia about superheroes, and then we just kept getting distracted by I Love Boobies. So, this is Lunar D8 signing out. Bye.